Oh yeah, you read that right, folks. In only about a week away from the Reignited Trilogy, they finally decided to show us both Ripto's Arena and one of the opening cutscenes from Spyro 3 Year of the Dragon with the Sorceress and Hooded Bianca. So, with that said, let's take a look at each one, and then I'm going to talk about each one individually. So, let's get started.
We managed to capture the eggs, Your Highness. Every last one.
Excellent! Maybe you will amount to something after all. Now go guard the tunnels. Stop anyone from coming through.
Wow. So, slowing things down a little bit here, we finally have Ripto here. Well, technically we've seen him a couple times, both in that still image and with the launch trailer that came out only a couple weeks ago. Maybe it was a couple weeks, I don't remember. And I will admit, the reptilian eyes and the sharp teeth have really grown a lot on me at this point. It kind of makes him look even more creepy and menacing than ever before. It wasn't really as much the fact that they were reptilian that was a little off-putting to me earlier, a couple months back when we saw him on the art cover. It was more just the coloring that was a little off-putting. But it seems like they've addressed that at the very least, as it looks like it fits him a lot more closer to the original. And then, of course, we have Spyro looking very pissed off here, like we have seen a couple times, like one in the reveal for Crush, and I think once with the reveal of Dr. Shem. I don't know, but it looks the way it's shot here looks really cool. So just gonna go ahead and show the rest of the fight here. We see a lot more of the powers being used, and we see I don't know if it's just me, but I think Spyro might look just a touch too small compared to Ripto here. I know Ripto was definitely bigger than him in the original, but that one looks a little too big. So stopping here, looking at the Ripto icon in the bottom left corner there, I like the way it looks. I like how it's still like in the original, goes from him looking normal to him looking infused with the power of the orbs like in the original. That looks really cool. And speaking of really cool, look at that. Toys for Bob, instead of just having it to where it changes color, he actually has marking, glowing red orange-ish markings on him. I know that sounded a little weird the way I said it there, but hey. So that looks really cool. Can't wait to see that, the rest of that with the other powers once I finally play the game when it comes out next week on Tuesday. So we have the logo there, obviously. And it weirdly ends with it showing right here robot gulp, and it looks really cool. One thing I really like about it is that they gave it more of a unique steampunk sort of look to Gulp instead of just taking the character model and putting robotic textures over it. I think that was actually a very clever, creative, and smart move on their part. It makes him look more distinctly unique. Although, is it also just me, or does this one look a little bit smaller than the actual Gulp? I don't know. I could just be overlooking this a little bit too much. So, with that said, we now are going to go ahead and take a quick look at the opening cutscene from Year of the Dragon, or at least the second part of it anyway. So we see here, we have Bianca running towards the Sorceress with the last egg that she stole, looking... one thing I really like about the animation, I'm stopping here for a second, one of the things I really like about the animations up to this point is not only how much more alive they feel, but how much more character and atmosphere sometimes they can even give. Like, throughout this, we can clearly see Bianca is going through a lot of the emotions in this one, which is conveyed a lot more clearly throughout, as you're going to see. So, with that being said, we now finally have the Sorceress here. And I will admit, she does actually look about how I would have expected her to be updated, but I mean that in a good way. And the only thing that's slightly, I don't want to say off-putting, but definitely is different in a way that definitely will take a little bit of time for me to properly adjust, is the voice doesn't sound as creepy, or dare I say old sounding. Like, I just think older people can pull off this kind of design a little bit better. That's no disrespect to the actress. I mean, the acting in this game, from what we've heard up to this point, is definitely a lot better than it was before. But I will admit, going into the cutscene again, the line delivery of her next line of guarding the tunnels and whatnot after the animation there is a little off, I guess. I guess you could say, stopping right there, I guess you could say maybe it's to convey her trying her hardest to not let her secret plan involving the dragon eggs be revealed too early, as well as in general letting the true monster inside of her being revealed way too soon, because she knows that would probably not go so well, especially since they'd only just now gotten back the egg. But that's just me. So finishing up the cutscene, I love the little bow there, and I also love the fact that not only I also like Zoe there, but we also see there's a lot more land out there in the original than there was in the original. In the original, we just saw a skybox and not much else. There was also, from what I remember, no stained glass windows either. But I just like necessary additions. So also, before we go, I want to go ahead and showcase some of the concept art for new dragons that were also revealed shortly thereafter on Twitter. I won't give names, but I think you can probably guess which dragons they are based on their looks. Not really too much else for me to say there. I'm just going to replay this one again. It's just great to finally not only see what Bianca looks like as well as how she moves in her hood itself, but also to see more of what the Sorceress finally looks like in-game, because to this point we've only seen concept art of her. So, not really too much else to say from this point forward. So, with that said, I'm King Gargantuous, and I'll see you all next time.